So the main question is, who are that creatures who helped Cooper in Tesseract to communicate with Mirth? And for some reason, a lot of people think that they are gods, or the god, or some sort of superior aliens. Christopher Nolan is not really a religious person, and even though I respect all the beliefs in religious, I don't think you have to consider Interstellar from that point of view. And before I tell you the actual answer, I would like to introduce you to two very famous and very important time-traveling phenomenon or paradoxes. The first one is a very famous one, and you're probably familiar with that. It calls grandfather paradox. So basically, for some reason, you've decided to assassinate your grandfather, and for that, you travel back in time and you kill your grandfather. But you do it before he actually gave a life to one of your parents. So technically speaking, since your parents were never born, one of them at least, you could never be born as well, right? So you could never be able to travel back in time to kill your grandfather. So that paradox is really important because another one paradox, which is very commonly used in many science fiction movies, which calls a bootstrap paradox. It's actually the opposite idea than your presence, everything what you have right now, could be possible if you travel back in time to make it possible. It happens in many movies like 12 Monkeys, Dark, Star Trek for sure, Interstellar as well, and we're coming to the topic. So probably many more, just let me know if you know something. So basically that creatures in Tesseract who helped Cooper were humans from the future. And that future would be able to happen only because they kind of contacted Cooper and helped him to find a solution to build the space station. Then they survived as a humanity and will be able to develop to that level. Then they can, create the technology to be able to travel in time and communicate with their ancestors and etc. and etc. So to make you understand why the movie is probably one of the most scientific movies you've ever seen, I need to tell you about the creators. So everyone knows that director is Christopher Nolan, and he also was the one in charge for scenario. Originally, it was also Steven Spielberg who was involved in the project, but the whole idea belonged to actual physicist, and actually not just a physicist, but the brightest, probably one of the brightest and brilliant minds of our century, Kip Thorne. Kip Thorne is a Nobel winner in physics, and he was a very close friend of Stephen Hawking and Carl Sagan and many other brilliant minds. So he's like really big deal in the academical field and physics community. He was not only the creator of the whole idea, but the main consultant of the movie. So his main object of study was gravitational anomalies, and still is probably, and black holes, they're gravitational anomalies, and he's been studying them for all his life long. And he won the Nobel Prize, I believe in 2016 or something like that. So they discovered gravitational waves, which were known for about a century probably, and they were discovered theoretically by Albert Einstein, but never proved experimentally. So they finally figured it out. It was a big deal back in the days, I remember. And in 2018, I remember the year because it was my last year of PhD in university. He actually had a tour to my university because part of the team who discovered that also belonged to Moscow State University and physical department. But of course, a lot of people were asking him about Interstellar because he also published the book explaining how he created that Gargantua black hole, which is of course fictional. And he actually super lovely person. Maybe I'm a little bit bragging because you don't meet Nobel Prize winners every day, but he was amazing, lovely person with incredible sense of humor. Anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you, and I brag a little bit about that too. And yeah, live long and prosper.